we got everything parked outside, and I'm going to be changing, well, valve cover gaskets on a 4.0. Apparently there's a ton of different versions of these. I'm just doing this to help out a friend, and he said there was only like 6 videos on the internet showing how to do this, so I figured I could take a crack at it. I know it's gonna suck, but I've worked on worse stuff than this, like German vehicles, so we'll just deal with undoing all of the random garbage over the engine, and we'll show all the pictures and documentation to help keep track of it all. And change a few other things the guy gave me for parts to basically service on this, which, well, that was nice. Anyways, alright, so far so good. This is currently where I'm at. I'm still trying to figure out this thing. I've never worked on one of these before, and I ended up finding a really old bolt from when someone else had worked on this, so that's just a great sign. So if everything works out the way I hope so, just pulling off the upper bolts I am finding here should separate around this area where I'm pointing to of the intake, and that should get enough room and everything out of the way to help bring these valve covers off, I mean to say, because of all the lines and stuff that's running really tight over them. And I'm still chasing random little brackets and stuff like this that can get loosened up so they just come off and out of the way. So far, not too bad. I need to make sure we document the order of the spark plugs on here, because those will have to come off so the intake can basically flop out of the way, since they routed these really dumb. Anyways, on to the next bit. Okay, almost everything is ready to go. I have taken off pretty much every single plug or bracket that needs to be taken off. And I have a few things left to do before I take a few of the spark plugs off. I want to know which wire goes where. There's going to be I believe a vacuum line in the back of the valve cover I'll have to unhook, and then tuck a few more things out of the way. And because they wanted to be cruel and unusual, you will need a T30 Torx in order to get that little, I'm assuming it's something to do with the EGR or something. I really don't know with this thing. And you'll have to basically get way up in there and break the bolts loose. It won't be very hard to do. It's gonna take one of these bits or actual screwdriver to break it loose. So after that's done, I can fold everything out of the way and start pulling all the bolts to get the valve cover off. Alright, quick thing to mention. Whoever designed that, you're stupid. Don't do that. You should not have it that tight against the firewall in literally a 90-degree elbow and no room to pry it off, and then have a stupid little clamp that decides, oh, hey, I want to go around the little breather for the valve cover as well. Let's just be a really stupid little pipe then. So bend that loose, pop it out, after you basically take a screwdriver and keep prying and twisting in every single direction on this dumb little piece, because dumb. So that'll be easy going back together. Hopefully I can get some of this to where it's less stupid to work on. That's my rant. That's over. Anyways, so I got one bolt up here, or 2 bolts, that one and the one over here for the top of the valve cover, and then this should lift off and I can change it, and then we'll deal with the other side soon. Supposedly this is the worst side to do, so the valve cover's popped off. Here's what the rest of our engine looks like. Not too bad. Clearly see signs of where the valve cover was failing. And see that weird varnish look? That is paraffin. It's something you get in a few like oils like Valvoline and castor oil and stuff, and just use Mobil 1 kind of stuff. And you know what I mean? It's just use Mobil 1 and a few other better grade synthetic oils, and you won't have this weird like sludge stuff that can develop. Otherwise, not looking too bad. It just sucked because of that stupid, apparently what I was talking about being an EGR valve, this little metal piece with the blue O-ring, was part of the fuel system, and it just would not get out of the way. So I kept shoving it out of the way. And yeah, I'm just actually surprised I got through this as quick as I did, because it's been about an hour. I've never worked on one of these before, so I'm just kind of learning as I go. So I'll clamp this area with just some brake clean and rag. Should be good enough with something this new. I shouldn't need to use a razor blade or anything to help scrape off any gunk. And then just brake clean and rag on that. Put a new valve cover on, or gasket I mean. Alright, it's a little less late and I'm less tired. Satellite dish hibiscus is doing its thing. And I figured out what this old bolt went to, because it's been saying over here. So the mark looks like it was relatively recent where it's been removed, but it was sitting under a just a little plastic cover. It's making me think this was removed forever ago, and the cover just kind of covered up any of the dust from collecting where the bolt used to be. So I'm gonna get this thing added in, and hopefully a little less dangerous, and the dude's gonna change the spark plug wires when he gets it back. Sorry I didn't get more footage of that. I just didn't have the time to. So it's all cleaned up. There's just some weird marks just from the thing being as old as it is. And yeah, not as bad as everyone made it out to be. I wouldn't mind doing it. If I had to do timing change, I just tell them to pump the truck. So that's on to the next. I'm gonna move the hose out of the way, try and find a bracket for the heater core stuff that's right here. And I popped off the little cap thing, so I've got less garbage in the way, so I can actually pull it out since it sticks up probably another 6 inches, and get some more of these coolant hoses out of the way like I mentioned. Should go a lot quicker than driver's side, hopefully. Okay, finally got done with this. I can't say I'm a fan of working on it, but I've worked out on worse vehicles. So valve covers are back on, cleaned everything. Whoever put this little bracket on for like metal coolant lines just around here, so it makes it hard to change the valve cover. I hope you step on a Lego. And this side turned out, well, it was easier to change actually after everything. And we're going to start the thing to see how it is. Exit key on this. Cool. I'd say that's fixed. See you next time.